Welcome to the Grey Area, the podcast where we talk about topics that are not always black and white. Today, we have a young, innovative leader joining us, and we are honored to have the president of the Insurance Institute of Gauteng, Jabulile, affectionately known as Jabu Mtunkulu, who's here with us. So welcome.
Welcome.
It's good to have you here with us.
Thank you.
So today we decided we're going to talk about new voices, old industry, and have things really changed. So Jabs, do you want to actually start off by telling us a bit about yourself? What is your motto for the year or your mission statement for this year as president, and how do you see things evolving?
Awesome. Firstly, thank you very much, ladies, for having me today. It's my first time on the podcast, so I feel honored.
We're honored to have you.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies. A bit about myself. I won't go on forever, but just to put it shortly, I am a child of the insurance industry. Started off as an underwriter, motor underwriter with New Wheels. It's no longer in existence, but the spirit is still there, and what I learned from there. And then I moved on to work for Bright Specialist Motor, where I'm still in motor, so the heavy trucks and heavy haulage and all of those nice non-girly things. And then I've always been inspired by learning and knowledge and just having all of that and then paying it forward.
Yeah.
So that's at the core of everything I do. I just want to amass the knowledge and whatever else I can learn and then teach the next person. I love hiking.
Yeah.
I wish I could say I love going to the gym. But the passion is there. It's in
there.
my heart. It's in my heart. But I do believe in sort of living this all-round, I won't say balance because my life at the moment is not very balanced. It's got a lot to do with the industry and the people involved in it, which I'm very passionate about. So that's where my focus is at the moment. What else? What else can I tell you about myself? Yeah, that's about it. And as Nadia so appropriately described me, I'm a young lady.
Yes. How did you get into insurance?
How did I get into insurance? I stumbled into it,
Yes.
as so many of us, I'm sure,
Most
have.
of us do.
Yeah.
Most of us do. So I think I studied communications at varsity, and my aim was to be this communications expert and in the field, be it in marketing or advertising. I consider myself a creative.
Yes.
So I've always dabbled in the creative part of things. So when I landed in insurance, it was okay, I'm just going to do this for a short while while I move on. I figure out my way into that space. I won't say fortunately or unfortunately, because I'm here now, and it's made me realize, and it's opened up my eyes to how creative the insurance industry it really is. It's so multidimensional. It's crazy, and that's what people don't really see, and that's what I want to open their eyes to.
So a lot of people ask that question: how did you get into insurance? And most people say, I stumbled into it. It wasn't intentional. It just kind of crept up on me as a career. But I think nowadays the more pertinent question would be, why did I stay in insurance?
Yes.
And I think you've answered that so nicely. There's so many facets to it that a lot of people don't understand. You can be studying anything. So you studied communications and I studied law and not studied law. But even though we've come from different backgrounds in terms of what we studied, still we're able to find a common ground in one sector. Yes. Why do you think that is?
Because insurance is so broad. So in my youth, I used to, as I said, I saw it as just something to pass the time by while I'm chasing my real passion.
Yes.
And when I realized just how broad and accommodating insurance is, this was much later on though.
Yeah.
So I started and I had my insurance job, and I really thought, okay, let me just do what I have to do and then get it over and done with. But I think took me about 2 or 3 years
Yeah.
to get into it and go, wait, let me make something of it. Let me see what else I can do in this, because I think I've never been a linear person.
Or one-dimensional.
One
right?
dimensional. I've always tried to at least accompany whatever I'm doing with something else that I think adds value to the next person. Right? So I started very simple RE. Thought, hey, here's a test I can try myself out with. Got that out the way, and then tried to look for the next thing. What was the next thing? I discovered the IIG. What did I know about the IIG before I joined? Nothing. Nothing. I just saw people going to a fancy dinner and thought, oh, the IIG is a fancy dinner. No, it is not. And I'm bringing in the IIG because that broadened, that really opened up the world to me, and that's what I want to do with this platform.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, this role I've been given, this responsibility, is to say it took me that long to open my eyes to the opportunities in insurance. I don't want it to take that long for people joining or people who don't know where to go from here.
Yes.
So I want those opportunities to be in their faces. I want everything that's available to them to be in their faces, no matter which career path you're in. Insurance is the platform, or is the field where you can literally play and do your best at whichever field you're at.
And I like what you said about using your platform, because you've been through it, right? You've started off at one point, you found a home, you found a community. And I think now you understand just how diverse it is, because a lot of people, when they think of insurance, they only have like this one track mind, but they don't realize this is what you can do, or that's something else that you can go into risk management. So there's so many facets. And I think also what's inspiring is when you see a young leader coming to the fore. And it makes you a lot more relatable to people out there to understand, because I think there's still this misconception of insurance being made up of mainly people, older people in gray suits, if I could put it that way.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that it's changing, the faces are changing. How do you see, have you had any challenges along the way?
Yes, I have. The road to the next step, or the next better step, is not without any challenges. And I think most of us, I speaking for myself, I thrive on challenges.
Right.
So I don't see myself growing if there aren't any challenges. The gray suits are still very much there.
Yeah.
We've tried to accessorize them as much as we can, but they are there, but that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
So I love that you touched on that, because the gray suits are as important to the industry as the not gray suits, the pink suits, the purple suits,
the denim.
the denim, you know what I mean? They are as important. And the challenges are the mind shift from the gray suit mentality to whatever else that is coming in right now can still work.
Yeah.
We can incorporate it. It's not throwing away that mentality and replacing it with this one. It's merging the two together and making it work, which links directly to my theme for this year in the IIG, which is #Aspire Together. So my idea behind that was I got here because of the journey I walked with different people along the way. So my peers, people older than me, people younger than me, people not in the insurance industry, people in the insurance industry, everyone has been involved to getting us to where we are right now. Starting off with the first program I did with the IIG, which was the class of program for young leaders aspiring to move to the next step in the organization, under 35s, and they get to work in groups where yes, there's the insurance knowledge side of things, but it's more the honing and really bringing out your softer skills, which are very necessary in the industry. And along that journey, we incorporate a charity initiative which they have to raise funds for.
Yeah.
Now, what better platform, to put yourself out there than asking for, donations, but not for yourself, to make someone else's life better. So it's literally for the introvert who wants to really come out of their shell and figure out how to get involved in more things and work in a group and really build the self-confidence. And for the other young professional who wants to build up, they might have the technical skills, but wants to build up on their other skills that they might need to move on to the next phase of their career. And then moving on to the Roots and Wings programs, which is the mentorship program, which I was also involved in, where you're working with a mentor. So it's usually a senior in the industry who is an MD, CEO, you name it, comes in and mentors the younger individual in the organization. Again, bringing people together. Moving on to the ILDP, which is a more intermediate to senior management course, which we partner up with a very reputable institution. Previously, it used to be Gibbs. Now we partner up with Henley Business School, so they really hone in on that managerial, technical, academic side of things, as well as any other aspects that you need in a managerial role or a senior role. So I've been through that whole process with people involved.
Yeah.
I needed the knowledge from the seniors. I needed the support from my peers. I needed to be the person, the role model that the younger me didn't have at that point. So it all comes together so fluidly. And we can overcome the challenges together, which is my goal for this year.
But I like how you've mapped out that journey, because a lot of people looking to get into insurance doesn't actually know how to do it. And you've been through this process stating where and how, but I think it also reinforces the idea of human connection and connectivity and how we like this community.
But it's also such a well thought out program by the IIG to take an individual through each step of their career and to be a support for people, for anybody coming into the industry and anybody that wants to progress through the industry. You know that there's someone there by your side taking you through. So well done.
Thank you.
And now you're president.
It came as a surprise. As me assuming this role, because you sort of do the work and with the passion and the purpose of giving back, but also in developing yourself. So during the journey, you don't necessarily realize but people are always watching. And you sort of do your thing and you try to do your best at what you do. And people around you are going, hey, have you thought about this? Have you thought about, becoming a council member? Have you thought about this? And it comes with the territory, I guess, because you do have to look forward to the next step when you are busy doing all of these things. So this role for me came as I would love to take this opportunity to bring all of those elements that have helped me get to this point together and help the next person get to this point. So if this presidency had, not if actually, I see it as a group effort. So when I had my inaugural dinner and I had to think about a song to come up to and get on stage and address the industry, I thought long and hard. I was like, what song really is still me, but is still clean enough to play?
Oh wow. That's a lot.
Okay.
Exactly. So it's still clean enough to play in a room with different age groups and different genre lovers. And I thought, hold on, I know a good song that they can clean up, or the DJ can clean up. And Drake, Started from the bottom, now we're here, came up.
Wonderful.
And it says, started from the bottom, now my whole team is here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it hits the spot because we are all here
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
You know, we came up, we learned what we learned, we're still learning, but we're all here together. So to have had that moment of realization that, hey, hold on, we are here together and we can still continue this journey together as an industry. I'm talking insurers, service providers, brokers, you name it, podcasters, lawyers, anyone and everyone is here together. And my hope is for us to keep moving together and leave no man behind. That's my hope right now, to go. It's for everyone. The insurance industry is for everyone. Going back to our point, no matter where you are, levels. There's a line that I said in my speech. I said, it's important for us to realize whether you're a CEO or a learner, we're all part of the same story.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
So I think the insurance industry, also why we stick in it a lot, is because there's certain factors to it that make us want to stay. What is your favorite thing about the insurance industry?
You can never know everything.
Yes.
There's always something to learn.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Just today I learned something new.
Yeah. Every day.
Yes.
I was busy with training before this, and I learned a whole bunch of new things that, again, I want to transfer to the next person who doesn't have to sit around and wait for an opportunity.
Okay. In general, do you find, and I'm not saying younger people, I'm not saying older people, I'm saying in general across all the generations of people in the insurance industry, do you find that there's a hesitancy to learn, or that in the insurance industry people are generally happy to learn new things, or always wanting to upskill and develop themselves?
I think there is a general willingness to learn, right? And the balance comes in where we have to, because of, you know, bodies that require us to get certain qualifications and CPDs and all of that. But I think there is definitely a willingness to learn, not only for that career progression or development on that front, but personally as well. I think stagnancy is such a it's an uncomfortable thing. So I think a lot of people,
also we get so, because it's so busy, right?
Yes.
We've got volumes, we've got pressures, we've got sales, we've got claims, we've got everything. I think because the job is so pressurized, sometimes a lot of people just feel like, I don't have the capacity to. I mean, sometimes just even getting your CPD points can feel
like it's a lot
draining on you. What would you say as a mentor we could do to encourage people to want to learn?
It's firstly, it's showing up. The hardest step is starting. And once people have seen, so I always say that be the example, so do it first, so that when you talk to the next person about it, you're talking about something that you've also done, you know. So I'm very happy to encourage people to do this, try that, because I can there's a certain passion I put in behind it, and I go, it is so life-changing. I mean, look at me right now. Not in a look at me way, but in a just try it. Just try it out and do it in your own pace. So I love what you're saying about the pressures of work and everything. You don't have 8 hours in a day to also do the studying and get the knowledge. Realistic situation. So I'm saying the bodies are also helping us out by requiring those things and having that deadline to say, this is how much you should have accumulated by this point. I think just finding out people's learning, not patterns, but how you can make it work for them. The talking really works, because I also find that there's a willingness for people to enroll in our programs, but time constraints are a thing.
Yeah.
There's not much support from their places of employment where they are willing to let them go for certain hours in a day.
Yeah.
But finding out how can we help as this institution that we are to meet them halfway. So, for instance, if our programs are purely in person and one person says, hey, I can't always make it to the in-person ones. Is there a link I can join? Is there something that I can do to sort of catch up, or we try and meet people halfway, so it's just talking and finding out where we can help as long as the willingness is there.
That's always the case. It's going to come down to the individual as well. And I think, the best part about learning, it's not just for yourself, but as society evolves, you need to have evolved people with evolved thinking to actually align so that, like Miss World says, we can build a better world.
So you spoke about balance earlier. And I think that people talk about work-life balance, so they talk about home, you need to balance home and you need to balance work. But I think that there should be a third tier to that, or a third pillar to that, in that self-development should also be part of balance. You're doing your work, yes, you're qualified to do it, you're gaining your experience, and then you're at home and you're doing your things there. But at the same time, you need to be developing yourself, whether it's something that you're studying that's academic, or something that you're studying that's coaching or mentoring, or something to develop those type of skills. And I think that it comes down to when you're having a discussion in your company with your leader. It's for your leader, when you're doing your development discussion, to say, what are you studying? And if the person is saying, I'm not studying anything, then time and time again, as you do those discussions throughout the year, it's the leader's role, and it's the leader's responsibility to kind of nudge the person in that direction. Because fine, some people are not don't want to study, don't have the time to study, etc. But it's important. If you're going to have an industry that is properly equipped to take us into the future, you need people that are, as Nad said, evolved.
Absolutely. And it's as simple as information is everywhere these days. Information, we don't need, it's so accessible. You don't need to, now I'm going to reveal my age, go into the library and produce your library card and sit down in front of a table or bulks of books and set aside time or an excessive amount of time reading up on books and making notes and all of that. There are podcasts that you can listen to along your trip to work, just for that information. There's various ways of doing things. For instance, when I'm too tired to read, I've got it's on my phone. I have this function where you can read what's the text on your phone. I just open up a book or whatever I'm supposed to read, lie with my eyes closed, and just press play and listen. I've gained information like that. So it's little things that we can do ourselves without putting that much pressure on the leaders as well. The leader can only lead you to the water as well.
That's true. That's so true. Individual accountability is key, and wanting to be able to learn. I think that's so important. But also sometimes I think having that supportive environments makes a difference.
Right? It does,
It does.
Because I remember I was chatting to someone and they mentioned, I'm so busy, as much as I want to transfer skill, I don't have that time because I'm busy focusing on that. And I think if companies could band together their strategies that could support people, we could have this ecosystem that automatically is able to transfer the skills. Because I think, in our industry, they always say one of the biggest concerns is the shortage, the skills gap, right? And nowadays, it's not just technical. It's like all these other elements that you have to have, like empathy, being able to read the room, EQ, soft skills. It's a combo of things that you need to keep up with. And also now with tech evolving in the way, so now you have to learn a new skill. So I think supportive ecosystems play such a vital role.
Absolutely.
For longevity and sustainability.
Yes, and you touched on a very, very good point there, because that's what we also try. So we work with service providers, we work with educational institutions, so that any cohort in the programs that we have leave with that a full package of I've got the technical knowledge now, and I've got the EQ, I've acquired all of these. Now going into the world, obviously you've given your time for all of this time during the programs. Now you go back and you try to squeeze in that knowledge sharing in your normal day of work. But we do still encourage you to do that with the skills that you've acquired, because someone else didn't have that opportunity that you had. So it's very important to amass all of those things, but it's also important to understand that there's someone who doesn't have the time or didn't get the opportunity that you had. It's so important to point that out, because I think people sometimes do take it for do take advantage of the fact that they are there and they've been given the platform and the opportunity, and as soon as they get out, they think, okay, now I've got it. Let me just go on my journey, and here's the next step. Here's the next step. I think there is a certain responsibility that comes with being given that opportunity. I pointed out to the class of guys, particularly because I think that's the program that also had a huge shift in my perspective in the industry, my career, my personal life. Actually, I always say to people, you see me talking to you right now and giving these talks and all of that. I don't think I would have done that without the program. I still am, I think, a very shy person.
No,
see, you wouldn't say that now because of the program. So I always say to them, guys, we get thousands of applications for when we open up these programs. Thousands. You have been selected individually to participate in this program. That alone is an opportunity that the next person didn't have. If we selected 20 of you, think about number 21, number 22. That could have been you, but you are sitting here in that chair having had this opportunity. Use it to the best that you can. Give it your all.
Shoot the lights out.
Shoot the lights out.
You touched earlier on skills gap. What do you think contributes to the skills gap in the insurance industry?
The deficit,
Ooh. So that one is a tough one, because
okay, let's start. Do you think that there is a skills gap in the insurance industry?
Putting you on the spot.
On the spot. I do think there's a skills gap in the insurance industry, and we've also heard, so I've spoken to individuals across the board in terms of the younger people where their skills gap is definitely prevalent, and the older ones who are saying, succession planning is a problem, because between them, where they need a successor, there is this gap where the next person is still trying to come up. I really do think there is a gap, and what's contributing to that mainly, I think, is there's a certain pressure here to do the work and get it done and all of that. And I think all of these things tie in together, because the programs are there. The programs are there, and all the resources are there, but accessibility might be a factor to those programs and the learning sort of spheres. And secondly, it's just us trying to fit everyone in those programs. So if there was an open invitation to just go, everyone come in, we'll take as many as possible, then it wouldn't be a problem. But because you have to limit these programs because of funding or because of capacity, there's always a problem where not enough people get in and not enough people get whatever they need to move up a level. Secondly, I think within the organizations themselves, we've gotten so busy. That the mentorship, I mean, our Roots and Wings program can only take about a certain number of people. So it can only take as many mentees as there are mentors. Time is a thing. Organizations themselves, they might want to do it internally, but they don't have the resources or the tools to do it. So there's something that is lagging in the space that, yes, the IIG is helping with, but I think organizations themselves need to do a bit more.
Yeah.
Not that they don't want to. There's just the resources that they need to bring in, and so much is going on. And we're not putting any pressures or blame on the organizations, but there's so much more happening.
There's a lot happening.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
need
there's
to
a
make
lot
profit.
happening, yeah.
We need to do all of these things to keep the organizations running. And it's not that people are not in that keeping the organization
Yeah.
running. They are very much a part of it. But how do you train your people when the money's not there? When you're not making money, when you're not making profits, when the external factors are also contributing a large part of why you cannot train your people to the level that you would like them to be at.
Yeah, good points.
Because that's actually so true. Because I was actually thinking, you know, maybe organizations should be doing a lot more. But then I guess there's a context to each situation, which complicates it even more. But then how do we get to like this middle way where there is this supportive ecosystem where everybody benefits? Because I mean, as much as the IIG has taken the initiative, they can only do so much, right?
Yeah.
So then how do we like work to solving that problem?
And there are institutions that are coming up, some of them that are already in existence that have incorporated or added programs onto their curriculums to help with this gap, because it is very much there. There was a conversation that I had with one of the mentors who said it's very tough to see that you are training your successor and everyone's talking about succession planning and everything, but you are not anyone's succession plan. So you are there training because of this gap that's going on, but nothing going this way. So there's definitely a need on both ends where these people are leaving with the skills and the knowledge and everything, but now these ones are too far down to acquire these fast enough to replace these people. So now they need to stay in order to train up these people. And I think there's just not that many of them again, or they're not staying long enough. So I'm trying to bring them back, come back in and train us, give us your knowledge, you know, because there were different ways of doing things. I think the legends, I call them, you know, would do things a certain way, but there's this generation that's going, okay, we see how you did things. Let's just try to find a faster way of doing something and a quicker way and a different way of doing something. It's going to get you somewhere, but not probably as fast as you want to get there and not exactly where you want to be. People will come in first year going, okay, so how do I get to the CEO? Good question to ask.
Of course, yeah.
But you have to move up the right way, and you have to have the skills to go up and the knowledge and the qualifications to move up the right way. So get that, work on that. While you're working on that, try to do other things. Because I think I remember years ago when I was trying to apply for varsity, there were factors. They didn't just look at your marks.
Yeah.
You know, there were things like community projects. What are you doing? Social aspects of it. So I think it's very important to make the ones that are coming in also realize that, to go, guys, it's not just about your work. It's not just about coming into work and clocking in at 8 o'clock, clocking out at 4 o'clock or whatever, and that's it. And that's how you get to be manager.
Yeah.
No. It's the willingness to want to push the extra mile. If you know that it's going to, you still have this report to do, but you leave it to the next morning, just try to do it the same day and see what happens. Just try.
I think, but also we're living in an age of instant gratification, right?
Yeah.
And people are thinking, I've been working here now 6 months. Surely I should be a manager.
It becomes,
realistic? No.
Is it realistic? No. Yes, I think it is needed that there should be some type of expectations set, and saying you need to actually get to this level. Maybe it's no clarity in expectations to say this is where you need to be before you can get to the manager level, and this is why, because you need to acquire all these skills. You don't need to just acquire a qualification. You need to acquire the experience. You need to acquire the soft skills. You need to acquire all of these things before you can get to this point. And I think the skills gap, I don't think necessarily the skills gap comes from a lack of training, because there's a lot of training out there. There's external training providers. There's people that are doing training internally. It comes from a lack of transferring, as you said, a passion for the industry. Right? You don't transfer what you love about the industry to somebody else. And I mean, I don't think you want to say, but I will say there's a lot of gatekeeping that's going on.
Controversial for her.
There's a lot of gatekeeping that's going on.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be, right? Because there's a space for everybody. There is a space for everybody. And when you gatekeep, you don't just gatekeep your knowledge. You gatekeep the continuation of the industry, because you don't instill in people, they just see it as a job at the end of the day. They don't see this as a career. So by transferring your knowledge, or you actually transfer a love of the industry. And I think that's what I try to do when I mentor people, is to say, listen, this is what's so exciting about this industry. Every day is a different day. Every day you learn something different. Every day you are, you're doing something new. You're on your toes. It's you wake up in the morning and you're excited to do it. And that is where the skills gap comes in. Nobody is ever going to sit in a training for 10 days and learn something if they're not genuinely interested in learning about it.
You bring up a very good point, Kamini, because another thing I realized was that when the job and the career thing, right? When people step in, it's just doing a job. They don't see it as a career. They don't see it as something that they can flourish and grow in, and they don't see it as something multifaceted. So if you don't show them that, hey, this is how much more you can be. What I realized a couple of years ago was, if you don't know your contribution to the bigger picture, you just going to have this mindset of, oh, I'm just doing what I'm doing, and when I get this over and done with, that'll be it. Next day, come in again. It's very important to show everyone the bigger picture, no matter where they are in the organization.
And I just think, think like that bigger picture is so important, because I find a lot of the times people are just chasing the title and not understanding what goes into the role and how they contribute and what difference they can make. Because they think, okay, I've made it here and this is it and that's it. But they don't understand the grit behind it, the hard work, the thinking. They don't look at the sustainability aspects. And I think that's the biggest problem, the sustainability. And, to add to our earlier point, like the gatekeeping, could that be from like this insecurity, or that may be stemming from transferring that knowledge, thinking that, okay, if someone else knows more, then they probably have. And like you said earlier, that maybe if they created more opportunities for people on this level so they can progress, and as the ones on the bottom progress, it becomes like everybody's moving up somewhere.
Somewhere. Exactly.
And I mean, that's why we created this podcast, right? We don't want the information to die with us. Right? And we want people to know that insurance is fun. Insurance is sexy. Look at us.
Look at us. Here we on the couch. Like 3 days.
It can be different. It's not gray suits. It hasn't been gray suits, I think, for a long time. It's a diverse group of people that is so inclusive. The South African insurance industry is dynamic in a way that a lot of other industries are not, in that you have people that are so excited about what they do on a daily basis, and it makes it fun. That's what keeps me in it, because I know, okay, by day I am reading a 50-page report, but by night,
Superwoman.
Doing something.
I'm going out with my friends that I've known the past 20 years, and we're going to the IIG dinner, and we may see you tomorrow, we may not. That's what's exciting about the insurance industry, and that's what's kept us going for such a long time.
And you've made friends in the insurance industry. You've met amazing people in the insurance industry. I'm friends with people that I started some of the programs with. And it's been so amazing to see how we've all progressed and some reached our goals, and are still continuing to thrive because of the industry that we're in, and we're trying to expand that passion and that, guys, you can smile, you can have fun in this industry.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing journey, and I wish I think the golf days that we host and the events and the annual dinners and the IG dinners and all of those things bring about an aspect where they do want to get involved in those events.
Yeah.
But once they see that, once they see that all of this is part of the insurance industry and you can also be part of it. As I said, before I joined, I just thought it was for a certain group of people.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
But once we make that accessible, once they see that people like us and they go, oh, wait, are you in the insurance industry? I just thought, it's an immediate mind shift because you see yourself there. And that's treasure right there. Once you can identify.
Yes. And representation is important. That's so key.
Yeah.
Speak from the heart. It's time for the rapid fire.
Okay.
If you wanted insurance, where would you be?
Advertising. Should I expand on that?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I think my creative side is still very much there. I like thinking of concepts and throwing in ideas of how to make things look even bigger or better than they are, or making them actually better so that when we show them, they look as better than as big as they are.
Okay, when you're not doing your insurance duties, what are you doing?
Working my 9 to 5. Bright Specialist Motor, shout out, and Bright Insurance Company.
She's got your back at all times.
It's our number one priority.
Yes, you see. Okay. Do you think we can make insurance sexy?
Yes, definitely, 1000%. We already are.
Love it. Okay, and a very controversial question that I asked Kamsan earlier.
Okay.
Do you believe that there should be pineapple on a pizza?
Listen, Shoo, my brother loved pineapple on pizza. I didn't. Growing up, you tend to pick your battles. And if there's pineapple on a pizza and you're hungry, you can take the pineapple and on the pizza, take it off, or leave it on and try it. I'm all for trying new things. So that was the first new thing I tried, and I loved it.
Okay, so you pineapple on pizza person. Don't worry, we still love you.
What are you watching right now?
Ooh, so many things. Documentaries on Netflix. There's the and the news.
Okay.
Oh, we like documentaries. I'm a documentary geek.
What are you reading right now?
I am reading, again, so many things. So I am still reading Antonio's book, the second one.
Yeah.
And I am reading something called Lady in a Red Coat.
Okay.
It's it's a mystery book that takes place in Italy.
Okay. What are you listening to right
now? Sure. I don't know if I should say this. This is me being vulnerable right now. Anxiety by Doechii.
Okay. No, not.
No.
That's my anxiety.
Oh, yes, now I know it. That's it.
Now do you have to learn your TikTok queen?
I do. It took me a while.
I was about to do the dance. Just for today, though, just like letting it out.
I was actually watching this thing about Doechii where did you see that thing where she had lost her job? So she made a video and she says, I've just lost my job. I've just been fired from my job. I don't have a place to stay. I don't have any money. I don't know what I'm going to do. Tomorrow I'm just going to go into a recording studio and ask if they have any internships. And then a few years later, she wins a Grammy Award.
Imagine
it was
that,
so inspiring to watch that because she actually took a video of herself on like the worst day of her life.
Sure.
Where she had lost her job and she felt like she had nothing. And then she's like, I have nothing to lose. I'm just going to go
Just go for it, right?
Yeah, just go out and do
There's
it.
a song of hers I listen to just after anxiety most of the time. It's called Denial. Now it's stuck in your head, right? It's Denial. Denial is a river or something. You just listen to the words in that song. She's very explicit about her life, and it's sometimes it's relatable. Sometimes I go, yo, girl, you've been through a lot.
Yeah. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Ooh, the one that springs up top of mind is I wanted to do a degree.
Yeah.
And I was still going back and forth in my head about it. And someone said to me, whether you do it or not, 3 years is going to pass. The 3 years that it's going to take you to finish that degree is going to go by. So you decide how you use that time. And it stuck with me so much because time is there, whether you want it to be there or not. If you have an hour to do something, use it. And someone else once said to me, successful people have 48 hours in a day. And I thought, what are you talking about? We all have the same 24 hours. But it's for me, I've learned the art or I don't know what to call it, but it's the gift.
Yeah.
The gift of utilizing every moment so that when I go to bed, I go, okay, I used my time effectively and efficiently today. If I didn't, what did I do with my time? And then I have to go back and press play again tomorrow.
Wow. Time is everything these days, right?
Everything.
It's very inspirational.
Yeah. What's the best advice you've ever got?
Stay in school.
Or are you trying to drop out?
Don't do drugs, kids.
I felt like I wasn't reputable. But I would advise everybody to stay in school, get a good education. And I just feel right now, I think one of the best things, if you want to do something, be intentional about it, go for it. And like I always tell people, as long as it's legal and compliant, that's my advice. It's the best advice because we don't want to get locked up.
Exactly.
No, we don't. But I've got 2 lawyers next to me, so
Even if you get locked up, you'll get freed.
yeah. And what's the best you've got?
The best advice I've got is that we're here for a good time, not for a long time.
Which is good.
So make the most of every single thing.
Yeah.
Of every facet of your life, live it to just make sure that you're having a good time because it's not going to be here forever.
But that's so true, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's your workspace, your home space, every space, just have a good time, which you just don't know. But thank you guys for a good time.
Well, that was really funny.
Yes. Thank you, ladies.
you.
Oh, this is fun.
Is there anything else you want to talk about the IIG, or you feel that you've covered everything?
Just on the fact that the IIG is very much dependent on the industry.
Yeah.
So be it its members, be it its sponsors, we rely on our industry to keep us running, and we would be nothing without our members and sponsors. So if you do get a chance to participate in the IIG, please do so. We have events running throughout the year. We have our international trip, which I'm very excited about in September, going all the way to China, Shanghai, and Beijing. Ni hao. Ni hao ma. I've been Duolingoing.
Oh, wow.
If you are interested in that, please reach out to the office at info@iig.co.za. But hopefully we will see you guys throughout the year. Yes. Golf days, educational programs, seminars, webinars, all in. Give me a shout.
Yeah, give her a shout. And I think it's so important to support these wonderful initiatives, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are doing an amazing job. So thank you.
So are you.
We appreciate the support of the IIG.
Yeah.
We really do.
It's been phenomenal.
From the beginning of our careers up until this point, they've always been there for us.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies, for having me. This is unexpected. I had fun.
I'm glad.
Oh, you expected us to be grilling you.
Yeah, no. Not even a single bead of sweat. Thank you for making it comfortable. Thank you for making it fun. I did practice.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I did. It was in front of the mirror.
For
And
us.
Oh, that's
don't want to
so
disappoint.
It was
Don't want to
sweet.
disappoint.
Never.
But
never.
that went out the window as soon as I sat down.
No, but thank you for being open to this and bringing
Well,
your
we
energy
hope
and
you
advice.
chat again
Yeah.
in the future.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
invite me,
Nice. No, we
Yeah,
I'll
definitely.
definitely
Yeah.
be there.
Good
Thank you,
collab
Maggie.
queens now.